Good morning.
Good morning, coffee moaners. Well, it's lunchtime today. Yes, we are usually here around 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. But we had some meetings this morning, so we've shifted to a lunchtime, which is nice, I think, sometimes to do that.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Some of you think that...
Well, it happened exactly the same last week, didn't it? And you guys liked it. It was a sort of lunchtime live.
A lunchtime live. And my God, the world has gone to shit. I mean, every day the world has gone to shit a little bit more. And then today, okay, we know it's a construct.
What?
Blue Monday.
Oh.
It was, in case you didn't know, Blue Monday was designed years ago by a travel company. I think they were called Sky or something like that. And actually, it was quite a good promo, wasn't it? Bluest Monday. Well, 3rd of January, Blue Monday. Everyone's facing their bills and worrying about World War III.
So what they try and do is encourage you to spend more money on holidays that you don't have.
Yeah. So, but I think it's also a nice moment to just go, yeah, actually, January is always tough. But at the moment, with the world so shaky and so, well, let's not pretty it up, fucking petrifying. Every day it's more scary than the day before. We thought we'd just acknowledge for a moment Blue Monday. That's our puppy, if you can hear anything banging around. Bless her, she's so sweet. Yeah. She does keep herself occupied.
So it is Blue Monday, and I think that all these sort of like articles come out, don't they, around the time to sort of say that, you know, there's sort of like, there's almost a scientific kind of, there's almost an algebraic formula for describing why it is the most depressing day, because I think most people have given up on their New Year's resolutions. It's that first hurdle where you've kind of got 12 days, 10 days in. Have you really followed any of the new you that you suggested and all that kind of stuff? So I am feeling a bit blue today. I'm going to say that out loud. I'm not going to indulge in it, but I am going to just say it because I just feel it. So I'm feeling a bit flat. So apologies there. But we have got lots of content for you, and we are going to be discussing, because Nadia hasn't yet been on the channel to discuss anything to do with the Rennie Good shooting in America and all of the kind of all of the stuff that's kind of blown up because of it. And so we've got some clips of ICE being ICE. We've got some quotes from Kristi Noem, who again seems to just keep telling us to not believe our eyes and ears. We've got another quote by Donald Trump. And we're going to be looking at that a little bit more. So we're going to talk about that. And at the same time, there are huge protests across America. We're also going to talk about Mark Ruffalo, who at the Golden Globes was, well, he's just about the only celebrity I can think of who's opened his mouth and said, it's shit. In fact, I think Mark Ruffalo's quote, which we're going to play in a bit, speaks to exactly where I feel, where he felt he couldn't just do the bullshit.
Yeah.
He just can't do the bullshit.
There are other celebrities that have spoken out about Rennie Good, though. There's quite a few. But this was just, as is his way, he doesn't do it sweetly, kind of still watching his career and watching how he's just upfront and out loud. And he is my hero of 2026 and 2025, actually, within that world of show business, because he puts his face, he puts his money, he puts his face, he puts his mouth. He is fearless and obviously has such moral clarity. He can't just carry on with this business we call show when he's feeling so keenly the horrors that are, you know, going on everywhere. So we're going to give a little bit of a round of applause to Mark Ruffalo.
A bit of appreciation for him. We're also going to touch upon, obviously, the Iran crisis. Nothing is getting me more infuriated than the coverage of Iran and the barefaced lies that the West are indulging in order to get everyone on board with what should be just a foregone conclusion, which is regime change in Iran. Suddenly, everyone in the West cares about Iranian people. No, they fucking don't. And Iranian people care about Iranian people.
I cannot bear the fake caring about the women of Iran. They did it before. They did it when they shut out the Shah. You know, it's the reason given. It's what Netanyahu always says, like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Okay. So we're going to talk about that and breaking news. Well, and also the other topic we're going to talk about is Barbie have issued, I heard this on the radio this morning, and I was kind of like, well, how are they going to denote an autistic Barbie? There is autistic Barbie has been made. We've got some images. And we kind of want to know what you guys think about
a number
that.
of you here actually have autistic children,
or are neurodiverse.
Or neurodiverse yourself. And my friend Kaz, actually, because I messaged her and said, what do you think about this? Because she works with autistic children. She was actually with a group of mums who all have autistic children. So I've got some bits and pieces from what they said. Because classic Kaz, who couldn't actually hear, she was recording them, but she was one side of the room and they were the other side.
Right, okay.
But many of you know and love my friend Kaz and for her dotty ways. So where should we start?
Well, maybe just start with this, because this is a breaking news story that's just landed just shortly before we went live. Nadia sent it to me. It's Middle East Eye reporting it. I think the Times are reporting it too. Keir Starmer has been asked to
sit on the Gaza Board of Peace by Trump administration.
Now, I can't work out reading the details of this story. So the Board of Peace is the organization that Donald Trump wants to create in order to create the Riviera, the Gaza Riviera. Jared Kushner, Steve Witkoff.
To make more billions.
To make billions, to turn it into Dubai by the coast and all the rest of it. Get all those pesky Palestinians out.
On the bones of thousands upon thousands of Palestinians.
Yeah, absolutely. And so consequently, and at one point, I don't know if you remember, we had to have a response to how Tony Blair was going to be on the board of deputies. He was going to be the governor of Gaza. And I don't know, I haven't had time to process this because I was frantically pulling all the clips together. When Nadia sent this, Starmer has been asked to sit on the Gaza Board of Peace by the Trump admin. Now, I would imagine that when this landed as a request in his in-tray, his sphincter muscle exploded.
Oh, I bet he was skipping around because Trump, the biggest bully in the playground, has asked him to do something instead of ignoring him, berating him.
I disagree. I think he
knows we're going to go mad.
Unless he's totally tone deaf and it's all been...
He is.
He is tone deaf. He hasn't just sort of... Because sometimes I want to sort of trust that maybe he just chose not to listen to all of the opposition to him. But he secretly knows it's just appalling what he's done and how he's behaved and how they're supporting Israel. You think he's going to see this as a kind of accolade?
I think that he is in big trouble for Palestine, recognising Palestine. It's brought up on every single occasion, isn't it? And I think that he'll think, oh, this is good. This balances it back out a bit. It's disgusting. Okay, let's not fuck about.
Yeah.
All these revolting men that have run this genocide are now going to be the creators of the peace. I mean...
Thank you. I'm with MeTube on this, 100%. Trump is asking only to put the UK in an awkward position.
Yeah, of course.
And what I meant by saying his sphincter muscle will have gone is he'll know how awkward a position this puts him in. I don't think he will be going, oh yeah, yippity-doo-dah, this is great, like Blair, the egotist.
Not totally, of course, because then he'll think for another minute and think,
this
how
is
am I going to
real
get my
problem.
way out of this one when I'm constantly being called, complicit in the genocide? But maybe for a minute or two, he's going to think, he's talking to me again, the bully. He might share his crisps.
I think this is I personally, and literally I only know the story 5 minutes ago, I think this is possibly the most complicated moment for Starmer's prime ministership. Thank you, Piano Man. That's very kind of you.
You're
thank
so
you.
sweet.
So kind. I think this presents
Are you really
the
still
biggest
pretending
challenge.
that there's peace? I mean, I don't know if anyone's seen that interview that's going around. We haven't had time to look into it properly yet. That's going around at the moment with Netanyahu, and he's being asked about journalists again, and he's saying, it's very dangerous. It's a war zone. Quick as a flash, the interviewer said, "Oh, I thought there was a ceasefire."
I thought that was good.
I thought there was a ceasefire. There's no ceasefire. There's no peace on the table. There is the continuation of the genocide. They're still starving them. They're still rounding them up in their hundreds daily and throwing them into their torture prisons. It is an absolute travesty that they are talking in any kind of way about peace. It's a joke. It's all fake.
I'm going to have to take this off first.
Oh, it's all right. Listen, I'll take her upstairs.
No.
I'll take her upstairs.
I know the noise will be annoying on the podcast. Sorry, sweetie. I think this is beyond awful. I think, how can you ask Sir Keir Starmer to sit at the head of the board? How can you do that? I mean, he's as inappropriate to sitting at the head of the board as Tony Blair is. I can't put a piece of paper between the, the total kind of, what's the word, inappropriateness of either. It's just ridiculous. No ceasefire, no fires have been ceased, says Farida. Absolutely right. We'll talk about Grok is another conversation, but we will have that conversation. Lee Durrant, I don't think any world leader wants peace. I feel like they love the bloodshed. Well, none of them will say that openly. None of them will. No leader is going to say they openly love the bloodshed. But I get what you mean. I mean, the inference is that they just are quite happy for it to carry on. I think this is the worst news for the situation in Gaza, and I think it presents Keir Starmer with the biggest challenge yet of his 2-year premiership, if I'm honest.
I think when Trump's offer is to say, what side of the playground are you on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it? It's like,
imagine the protests there are going to be if Starmer says yes to this. I mean, imagine how this is going to land with anyone on the side of being an activist for Palestine. How can he say no? I mean, he has to say no.
But how will he say no, do you think? So I'm far too busy being the Prime Minister.
I think he has to use some maybe legal jargonese, like it's not appropriate for a sitting Prime Minister to be board of a government. I mean, he has to say something. He can't do it. If he does
go and do pure colonial shit right in front of everyone's faces.
Yeah, anyway,
I prefer to do it around the back door.
That is definitely a story we're going to come back to. But you're absolutely right, Mitchum. I think Donald Trump this is incredibly strategic. Bully boy. Iran, let's just talk about the situation in Iran. What's your take on the situation in Iran, Matt? We haven't heard your opinion on this yet. Iran crisis, foreign minister says country ready for negotiations, but also fully prepared for war. Starmer refusing to ban the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. I want to talk about this. There's basically a campaign to prescribe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization.
And so is that being driven again from Israel? Because Israel want a war with Iran. They've never not wanted a war with Iran.
Israel will forever and a day claim that they have nothing to do with this.
But who was it who was the person last week or the week before who proudly said
Mike Pompeo. Yeah.
Mike Pompeo,
former Secretary of State
in
America,
said, there they are, here comes the rebellion, the revolution, and the Mossad agents are down there with them. And you think, okay, we can just say this out loud now, right? This is like, okay, because I think America and Israel have such impunity that they really think they can just say anything. They totally believe that the whole world is on their side with them.
Yes,
this country must be wiped out. We need another war in this country. We need to kidnap this president. We need to. They're as mad as March hares, a pair of them, and they're in cahoots. This is Israel, in my opinion. Though of course I am no expert at all on global politics. From where I'm looking and everything that I've been watching and seeing over the last 2 years, in our thousands, in our millions, we are all Palestinians. I cannot trust that there aren't so many porky little fingers in the pies.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the
telling lies.
One of the biggest pushbacks here is us people in Britain talking about how Israel and America are fanning the flames of protest, and somehow we're suggesting there isn't authentic resistance. There isn't authentic resistance or protest against the regime. There is. The what I'm about to say really isn't a complicated thought. So this is the thought. You can be really unhappy with the Iranian regime, and you can not want Trump and Israel to be behind it.
Exactly. And I've been reading and looking at a lot of posts from Iranian people telling us how it is. Because it's a very complicated, it's gone on for years, hasn't it? The complex issues across the globe with Iran. But I thought, I'm just going to keep listening to Iranians on this. It's exactly the same thing, Mark. The Shah. So now they're talking about putting the Shah's son and a king to come in. And when the Shah was there, why was he? The people were very unhappy then. Terrible, mismatching of wealth, and there was all kinds of torture and imprisoning going on. And the West came in to save the women again. Remember, they always use that little one.
They all suddenly care about.
Yeah, because all women in Iran want to leave Iran, and all women in Iran hate Iran. Come on, do you know? And do you know that women are very highly educated in Iran? Just because all the people saying at the moment, oh, they can't get any education. Yes, they are. In fact, they're worried in Iran that women are so far ahead with their education of men. I think 37% of women and 13% of men go on to further education. Of course, there's still problems with jobs and stuff like that. But don't think for 1 minute that any of these nations that are talking about going in and kicking off a war in Iran are worried about the women.
Yeah, Donald Trump is
and we've got a little video of Donald Trump and how he feels about women. So, yes, on the plane.
What, here in the live?
Oh, I thought you had it here. Don't worry, I've got it on my phone.
No, I've got him talking about Rennie Good.
Yeah, Rennie Good.
Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. Oh, right, okay.
So, so there's a lot of shit being spoken. Go to the Iranian people and hear that, and they say exactly that. Yes, the regime now is a horror story, but they came out of the West getting involved and throwing the Shah out, and now, and so what? They're going to get involved again when historically things are only ever worse. I
did a reel about this. Well, I subclipped from Coffee Mate. I talked about this a lot at the weekend, and it's really resonated for a lot of people. And it's not a complicated thought. It really isn't. Donald Trump is not interested in Iran or the people or looking after anyone or caring about anyone who's struggling. When he says, I love the Venezuelan, no, you fucking don't. When he says, I love the Iranian, no, he fucking doesn't. When Israel goes as, and this is interesting, when Israel goes as suspiciously quiet, as they have for the last 48 hours. Why? Because someone in government has said, if we say too much, they'll think we're involved, but you've kind of told us you are.
No, but also they're standing back going, oh, there we go.
Yeah, because all their operatives are in Iran. And again, in saying that, there are protests and there are people who are resisting and against the regime. There was someone on the radio as I was driving home this morning, and she said, we can't stand the Republic. We can't stand the regime. But she said, we also can't stand Trump. And we don't want Netanyahu and Trump riding in on a white stallion.
With a peace board by any chance?
Pretending that they've got our best interests at heart. And I think Piano Man said just a bit earlier, US, UK hated Iran when they nationalized the oil. It's all about oil reserves.
That made them so angry. I was listening to a podcast about that the other day.
And someone else also said, has anyone noticed how Trump has kind of his villain arc has gone into overdrive as he's become the despot since the Epstein files became really close to revealing everything about him. So, and just finally on the Iran thing, unless there's anything, obviously, unless there's else you want to say, this idea of there's a big debate, and Starmer allegedly is refusing to prescribe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization. And I just want to pause on this discussion. America is leaning on Britain to prescribe the, whatever you think of them, the Iranian army, the core squad that looks after the Ayatollah, as a terrorist group. Their rationale is for shooting 500 protesters. Right. We have no one on the ground and no way of verifying those reports. We have no way of verifying who shot who. We can verify that the Iranian regime is about to execute people. So this isn't about defending Iran. But in the fog of war, we've got no way of distinguishing between fact and fiction, between stuff that's been instigated and stuff that's actually happening. And that's what the West wants. They want the fog. It's very hard to pinpoint. But what we can say, and I've noticed every single media outlet in the UK is simply reporting that there is regime change wanted by the Iranian people. Not one journalist on one mainstream media outlet has even asked the question. Well, I've looked at them all this morning, and not one of them is asking the question this morning as to whether America and Israeli and British self-interest is in any way informing the coverage, the violence, or what's happening on the ground. Not one journalist today, okay, I can't say definitively, but today, is asking that question in the papers. They're just reporting it as a fact. Once again, where have we heard that for? Final point on this. If there's an argument to prescribe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization, surely in terms of metrics and numbers of people killed, there is an even more compelling argument to prescribe the IDF as a terrorist organization. After all, like the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, it's a national army. We just don't like, so anyone who has an army and anyone that we don't agree with is a terrorist. Everyone, anyone, anywhere. And none of this is a defense of Iran and their regime and their human rights.
And we have to keep going back to America, going back to ICE and what they're doing and who they are and how they've been brought together. And we are seeing, on a daily basis, all of the administration, one after another, comes out calling the American people the terrorists. It's again, in our thousands and our millions, we are all Palestinians. The word terrorist now is just being dissolved into nothing because it's just thrown about.
It's like the war on terror
by the lunatics every time anybody says or does anything they don't agree with. We're terrorists. It's not even. It's just disagreeing. Anyone
who's not American, who doesn't want to do what America wants to do, is being classed as a terrorist. Domestic terrorist, narco terrorist, terrorist. I mean, it's quite flabbergasting. And the weirdest part of all of it is there's a pressure group, and Kemi Badenoch and everyone in this country wants to prescribe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization because they've killed however many people in these protests. Could you equate that with having Palestine Action as a prescribed terrorist organization?
Quite right, says David Crozier. If women in cars are domestic terrorists, pensioners protesting against genocide are terrorists, then you can just call anyone a terrorist.
David, thank you. Totally right. Perfection. And on that note, let's go over to this final Truth Social post that Nadia sent me. Look what Donald Trump's reposted as being on his Wikipedia page.
For those on podcast.
You've got a photograph of Donald Trump. I presume this is lifted from Wikipedia. Acting President of Venezuela, incumbent January 2026. Now, this might not be the real Wikipedia page. This is probably a artificially created one, but he's posting it. He's posting that.
Oh my God.
I'm so scared, babe. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
I'm scared.
Oh, Catherine Foley says Iran has already been rounding up Mossad agents. Shall we go to some kind of hope? Shall we go to Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
And of course, this is at the Golden Globes last night.
Just have a listen.
Yeah, just have a listen.
In that room, sitting there, you have a couple cocktails, you hang out with everybody, and there's all kinds of conversations going on.
It's usually a lot of fun, but I can't really. I got to be honest with you. I'm not feeling so great. We have a woman, Renee Good, was murdered in our streets of America today, and we got literally stormtroopers running around terrorizing. And as much as I love all this, I don't know if I can pretend like this crazy stuff isn't happening. We have a president who says the laws of the world don't apply to him and we could rely on his morality, but he has no morality. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave the world? So I love these people. I love being here. I love you. But I also can't, it's so hard to pretend anymore. Oh. This is crazy what's happening.
I have to ask you because I have family from the Twin Cities, so yeah. I understand how hard that is right now. Well, lots of people are hurting right now, and that's the problem, is that the people are hurting.
Yeah. And people can't pay their rent. This isn't making us any safer. They can't pay their rent. They can't buy food. Insurance is impossible. They can't take care of their families and health. There's no education. I mean, this is not making America better. If it was, I'd be, yeah, great, let's do it. But that's not what's happening. And we have Americans being shot, killed, a woman in her car.
So I'm going to ask you this, because we're talking about the problems. What do you think we can do what are the solutions?
Listen, I think most Americans want the same thing. They want a little sun on their face. They want to know that their kids are going to be okay. They want to know their kids are going to be safe. They want to be able to pay their rent. They want to be able to know they're going to send their kids to a good education. Mm-hmm. But right now, the whole Senate, the whole Congress has been taken over by corporations. So who's there fighting for us now? Nobody. Mm-hmm. But if somebody did, they got us at each other's throats. The billionaires got us at each other's throats, right? We're out there killing each other. You know what the solution is? It's doing something for the working people, putting all your focus on that.
Here's what I'm going to say. I respect the fact that you're using your time in your forum to get out your message, and I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, how can we do that? We can't, I don't know. I can't keep pretending.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
God, every word.
It's a test to see how committed we are, Michu. Well done. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You are committed. Thank you.
Thank you.
So where
I think
were
we're
we?
back. I think we're back. We were just listening to
Ruffalo.
Ruffalo, yeah.
Yes, to give us a little moment away.
So just tell us what you think whilst I need to do some technical things here just to get us back on board.
Of Mark?
No, regarding the whole Rennie Good shooting. We haven't heard from him.
Wow, I mean,
yeah.
My God. I mean, it's just gone on and on, the horror of it, hasn't it? I mean, the way they are doubling down every single day. Vance, disgusting. He's terrifying. I mean, I know a lot of people hope and pray that Trump will be taken off into the funny farm, but we will be left with Vance, and he will stand there in just the same way that Trump does, and just and that Christy Gnome.
Oh right.
Oh my God.
What do you make of her?
Well, I don't know if you saw the
I've got this clip
the
here.
interview with Jake Tapper last night.
I've got it just here. Let's go to it. Let's hope
Very
it plays.
Criticized for your comments. The shooting, we should note, was Wednesday at 10:37 a.m. Eastern. Just over 2 hours later, the Department of Homeland Security put out a statement definitively asserting what had happened, defending the ICE agent, accusing Renee Good of domestic terrorism. That's a characterization that you reiterated in a press conference half an hour later. Now, Republican Senator Tom Tillis said, quote, "It was very unusual to have a senior law enforcement official to draw a conclusion about an event where the scene was still being processed. Generally speaking, law enforcement would